Hey Pack, you're with Aslan, day May 13th. This one's a little longer. Just toss my bookmark. Don't lose it. Invisible enemies. Invisible enemies, muttered Caspian, and cutting us off from the boat. This is an ugly furrow to plow. You have no idea what sort of creatures they are, Lou? Asked Edmund. How can I, Ed, when I couldn't see them? Did they sound like humans from their footsteps? I didn't hear any noise or feet, only voices and this frightful thudding and thumping like a mallet. I wonder, said Reepicheep, do they become visible when you drive a sword into them? It looks as if we shall find out, said Caspian, but let's get out of this gateway. There's only one of these gentry at the pump listening to all as... Wait, there's one of these gentry at that pump listening to all we say. They came out and went back on the path where the trees might possibly make them less conspicuous. Not that it's any good, really, said Eustace. Trying to hide from people you can't see. They may be all around us. Now, Darrenin, said Caspian, how would it be if we gave up the boat for lost, went down to another part of the bay, and signaled for the Dawn Treader to stand in and take us abroad? Not depth for her, sire, said Drin. That guy's name is hard to say. Drinian. We could swim, said Lucy. Your Majesty's all, said Reepicheep. Hear me, it is folly to think of avoiding an invisible enemy by any amount of creeping and skulking. If these creatures mean to bring us to battle, be sure they will succeed, and whatever come of it, I'd sooner meet them face to face than be caught by the tail. I really think Reep is right in this time, said Edmund. Surely, said Lucy. If Rents and the others on the Dawn Treader see us fighting on the shore, they'll be able to do something. But they won't see us fighting if we can't see our enemy, said Eustace miserably. They'll think we're just swinging our swords in the air for fun. There was an uncomfortable pause. Well, said Caspian at last, let's get on with it. We must go and face them. Shake hands all round, arrow on the string. Lucy, swords out. Everyone else? And now for it. Perhaps they'll parley. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Yeah, sorry, I didn't do a very good job reading it. It's... Some of the spots, I had problems reading the words. Why do they ultimately decide to face their enemies even though they are invisible? Let's start with that one. Even if you're facing an invisible enemy, the fact of... some people don't care for the saying, but better the devil you know than the devil you don't. You know you're going to be facing an invisible enemy, so you can at least take it from that. But if you run away from an invisible enemy, now you don't know anything. And you're not in a position to try and counterattack or even defend because you're running. And unfortunately, when you're running, you're even more vulnerable. So having a position of power at least gives them a chance. What is the purpose of shaking hands before going into a battle situation? Well, I've always seen it as whenever they shook hands, it's like, in case we don't make this out, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for, going into this fight with me. Thank you that we are united. I always thought it was interesting because most of the time in America, people shake hands as a greeting, but unless they're saying we greet death, I don't see how that would work. So what I personally think is they're saying, you know, we're in this together. Let's do it, you know, just, it's like a unity, a unifying thing. What kind of feeling might that build among the companions? I mean, like I just said, unifying. So it makes you feel like, okay, you know, we're all on equal footing. We're all on the same ground. There is no, I'm the captain, do as I say. It's, we're together. We're in this together. We're going to do our best. And so, I mean, they're going into a possibly no-win scenario, and so they need to face that. I can only imagine how scary that is because, I mean, think about it. Say you know someone's trying to break into your house and you can't see them though. They're invisible. And you hear them occasionally, but you can't track them. You can't call the police because they're invisible. They won't believe you. And, you know, it's just you and, you know, like your best friend or your sibling, and both of you know that it's do or die time, basically. It's, we either try and run away and hope we survive and they don't kill us, or we stand our ground and protect what's ours, what we can protect. I mean, I don't know who said it originally, but better to die fighting, as the saying goes. And there's this saying, I'm probably gonna mess it up, but it says, a hero can die but one death, but a coward dies 1,000. And it's, if you have fear, that's okay, but you use the fear as you're stoking the fire for courage, and you challenge the scenario that maybe, you know, you don't come out of, but at least you tried, and that's a victory in and of itself. But a coward who just runs and doesn't even try, their dignity dies, their pride dies, then the chance, you know, others look down upon them, their reputation dies. Like, there's more to death than just the mortal body. You know, there's things that can be like a death. So I think in some ways that's why it says coward dies thousands, or 1,000. So, man, it would be so scary to be in that situation. You know, like, I have a bow and arrow or a sword, and I have no way of knowing, are they coming from the front? Are they coming from above? I don't know. So, but there's also a power in deciding, and basically there is no tomorrow, there's just this moment. So you quit thinking of the future, you quit thinking of the past, you quit worrying about anything, and you're just in the moment. There's a power there. So I think that's pretty cool. But that is it's an interesting reading. Invisible Enemy. I actually think I remember what those enemies are, even though I do give some spoilers warnings on my title. I will not say who they are, but Yeah, it's an interesting surprise. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, out the moon. Bye.